Hi everybody, my name is Mr. Francy and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. Today we are back with another celebrating Booktubers video and I am so excited to be here. So let's jump right into the introduction because we have a lot to go through for this one. Welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads! Yes, hello and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I'm so excited that you have chosen to join me again today for another one of our celebrating booktuber videos. Y'all, I did not know that this series would go for as long as it has so far, but it always has me incredibly excited each and every time I get to put a spotlight onto another booktuber that you may or may not have heard of. Now, if you would like to be a part of the Celebrating Booktubers series, all you need to do is either let me know in a comment below, or you can email me, my email is in the description, or you can come along and join us over on the Discord, link to that is in the description, and let me know over there. But I'm definitely happy for anyone to ask or request to be a part of this series. This is the latest and final video to date, so we'll see how things go from here. But I know that for me, this series would not be complete without introducing this booktuber. So, let's get right on into it. But before we go any further, if you have not already, please do subscribe to my video. Every single subscription does go a long way to helping me with my channel. And hit that notification bell, ding, so that you can be notified each and every time I do upload a video. I prepared some notes beforehand because, because honestly, otherwise this video is going to take forever to get through, so, and I know you all just want to get on to that booktuber and hear what they have to say themselves, so allow me to just grab my trusty laptop and read my notes. So, this time we are celebrating not only a booktuber, but a dear friend. Today we are celebrating Hannah from Buggy Reads! Yay! Now, I have known of and been a subscriber to Buggy Reads pretty much since it first came out, and I've known Hannah for about 7 months, and we've been corresponding for at least 6 of those months. Now, if you don't know Hannah, then trust me, you'll want to get to know her. From her kindness and support to not only myself, but everyone else also, to her frank discussions on what she is reading, both Hannah and Buggy Reads are sure to give you an amazing time. I also highly recommend Hannah's channel to anyone who wants to dip their toe into reading a series, but doesn't know if they want to commit to it. I can hear some of you laughing who know Hannah, and the reason for that is because Hannah is the type of reader to literally binge an entire series per month. So by the time she gets to her monthly wraps, you can rest assured that she'll at least be discussing her thoughts on an entire series. As a person, Hannah is so lovely and kind, and so I not only recommend checking out and subscribing to her channel, but I also recommend getting to know her as a person because of just how wonderful a person that she is. Not only is she kind and caring, but Hannah also reads at an incredibly fast pace, and this is certainly a motivator to keep me going with my reads while also getting her support along the way. But I'm sure you want to hear from the lady of the hour herself. So, Hannah, take your place on the appropriately placed royal throne as we celebrate today with you and your channel. Here she is, everyone, Hannah from Buggy Reads. Take it away!
Hi, Mr. Francy. Hi, everyone. I am so honored to be part of the Celebrating Booktubers video series. I've watched Mr. Francy's series on it, and I absolutely love him. I love all the people that he's asked to be on there. They're all my good friends, and so I felt very honored when Mr. Francy asked me to do this video. I always feel honored when he includes me in his collabs. So, I have my trusty sidekick Macy right here. She's gonna show her. Oh, she'll show her ear. And part of okay, yeah. Here's Macy. She also wants to be celebrated because she's just a good girl. So anyway, Mr. Francy gave me a couple of questions that I'm going to answer, and yeah, let's have some fun. Okay. So the first question is, what is the name of your booktube channel and how did you come up with that name? So my booktube channel name is Buggy Reads, and this is a super like complex story of how I came up with this name. My nickname growing up was Junebug, and but yeah, Buggy Reads is from that. My parents called me Junebug because I was born in June, and I was always called a different variation of that name, like Snugglebug, Bedbug, Lovebug, stuff like that. And yeah, my mom would always call me Buggy, especially if I wasn't feeling good. I would always be called Buggy. So that's where that came from. All right, the next question is, what types of videos do you do on your channel? A little bit of everything. I do tag videos, I do wrap up videos, I do vlog videos, kinda. I kind of stopped doing that because my editing software wasn't working, but I do wrap ups. I'm just posted not that long ago my first readathon announcement video. I hope I'm going to do more because I like the idea of doing readathons. So, yeah. Um, I'm still trying to get my feet on the ground and figure out what I like, but I definitely know that I like doing my tag videos and I love doing TBRs and wrap ups. So, and book hauls. I also do book hauls if I have enough books then. I haven't done a book haul in a while because I stopped doing the library book sales because I go rogue and I get a crap, blah, 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 blah. I was trying to say one word and another word was trying to come out, and I do a lot of. I stopped doing the library book sale videos because I keep coming back with like a ton of books, and I need to stop doing that until I get my book pile down a lot. Um, yeah, I'm looking at my pile. It's like on the other side of my bed, like as I'm walking out of my room. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Okay, what kind of books do you like to read? I like to read cozy mysteries. I like to read thrillers and historical fictions. Sometimes I'll go dabble in with horror, or I'll dabble in with like just straight up mysteries. I feel like mysteries and thrillers are kind of like the same genre because you can't have like a straight mystery without a little bit of thrill in them. But when it comes to thrillers, my bread and butter are my domestic thrillers. Those are my favorites. Hello, Macy. Okay. She's going to bed now. She's done. Okay. Question 4. What do you advocate DNFing and what would you advise to someone who doesn't know if they should? I definitely advocate for DNFing. Definitely. And for someone who doesn't know if they should DNF, life is too short and you don't want to get stuck on reading a book that's going to be not interesting to you because you don't want to hit a slump after you're reading a book. I think that reading is a hobby and not a job. So you don't want to treat it like it's a job. You want to treat it like it's something fun. So you want to surround yourself with books that are fun. Like, yeah. I mean, unless if it's like school required reading, then yeah, I guess you have to read it, but that's not fun. That's work. But yeah, I mean, you want to surround yourself with books that are fun. I mean, Mr. Francy was even like a month ago, 2 months ago, he had to do required reading for his schoolwork. And it was books that he didn't want to read, but he couldn't, like, it was work related, like schoolwork related. But then he made up for it when he got done with it because he had all the books that he wanted to read, and he was like, all my fun stuff. So yeah, always surround yourself with stuff that you want to read. If it's something that you don't want to read, put it away and read something that you do want to read. Um, I last year I was very much against DNFing until I read Great Gatsby, not Great Gatsby, The Catcher in the Rye. I read that book. And I was like, yeah, I can consider why people would hate doing this. And then I read it was a Hemingway book. It was a really thick one. It was either For Whom the Bells Toll or The Sun Also Rises. It was one of those. It was whichever one of those is really thick. It was that one. And that one I did DNF because I could not. It was bad. After reading the other one, that was the shorter one of either Whom the Bell Tolls or The Sun Also Rises, I can't remember which one it was because I was honestly last summer, my idea for reading my classics was I was going to spend the summer reading three Hemingway classics. It was going to be The Old Man and the Sea, and that was going to be a reread. Then this either I can't remember which one it was. It was a shorter book, but it was either The Sun Also Rises or For Whom the Bells Toll, and I can't remember which one. And the last one was either For Whom the Bell Tolls or The Sun Also Rises. So it's going to go short, short, thick, and I can't remember which one's which. And I can see the book, the paperback, and it's like it's buried under a bunch of stuff, but I can't see the name of it. I just see Hemingway, so I don't know what it is. But after reading two really crappy Hemingway books, I was like, I'm not doing this again. I can't. I don't understand why this dude was the greatest writer of all times. His books suck. Especially Old Man in the Sea. That was literally a dude on a fishing trip getting dragged around by a giant fish. Like that book sucked. So yeah. I read that within a day and I finished it. I was like, that was it? That was the book? Ugh. Yeah, so yeah. In a long way, don't be like me who says you have to read the book. If you don't want to read it, don't read it. Because I definitely changed my mindset real fast and said, I'm not reading crap like this. I'm done. And I started DNFing. If as soon as a book does, I don't like a book, I DNF. The only time I won't DNF though is if like I'm like 75% through a book and I'm like, I'm almost done. I'll suffer through it just for the loss of it. But other than that, I'm like, nah, screw it. Book's over with. Okay. But also know if I do make myself finish through that book and I don't want to and I'm that close to being done with it, the rating of that book just drops so fast. I'm like, it's getting like a 2 star, 1 star read. That, yeah. Okay. 5. Do you get involved in buddy? Bleh. Bleh. Do you get involved in buddy reads? Yes, I do. I love my buddy reads. I'm currently in 2 buddy reads with Mr. Francy. He is doing his buddy read for the selection series, and we're starting book 3 in June. The One, it's the name of the book, and I'm so excited. And then I am also doing a buddy read with Johara, the witchy reader, and then I'm also doing one with Sherry. Like together, we're all three of us are doing the buddy read of the Harry Potter series. And I'm currently reading the 6th book, but in June I'll be on the 7th book, and I might be crying because I've never read those books before. I've read 1 through 3 before, but that's it. Everything else is blind, 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 blind. And it's been a hard time. And by a hard time, I mean like emotionally. Like I've been like distraught reading those books and like bleh. Especially 5. Man, book 5 hit hard. Okay. Question 6. What is something, or what's something that you think BookTube can use a lot more of? Rambly booktubers like myself, ones who just gab, 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 gab. Because if I see that, then I know that I'm alone and that my passion of my books and me just gabbing about it and getting thrown off and gabbing about why I'm thrown off and then coming back, like that would just make me feel better. And I would totally sit through long videos like that because I relate. Okay. What is your favorite video that you've done so far? My book haul videos. Those are fun. I love my book hauls because I'm gonna be frank with y'all. Most of the time I'm doing these book haul videos, I don't even know what I got. I know what I got when I bought the books, but bear in mind when like with my library book sales, those books are all the same cost and they're usually like 50 cents to $1. So when I go in there, I'm just grabbing it. Like I'm like book cozy mystery, throw, 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 throw. Especially like this last year because I'm trying to stack up on my cozies. So I was just throwing that stuff in my bag or in my box, and I don't even remember what I was grabbing. So when I'm doing these book haul videos, it is a did you grab that book? That's cool. Oh, what's this book? Oh, that's even better. Like, that's what those videos are. Okay. Name three books that are a must read. Okay. One would be The Giver by Lois Lowry. And that is a great book about this boy who turns, I believe, 13 or 15. And there's a mouse above me. Sorry. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye, moth. Please go away. Sorry. But he turns either 13 or 15, and he has, like in the society, you get assigned a gift. And his gift is he experiences memories, and those memories come with like color and it comes with feelings. And in this world, it's basically a monochrome black and white world. And since he's experienced all this, colors start slowly coming back, and he wants to give his gift out to other people and let them know what they're missing out. But it's like a huge no-no, and it can cause a lot of things in the society to crumble. It was a great book. It's one that I like to reread. I think I have it somewhere on my bookcase. I just don't know where. Um, the next book I would recommend, I'm trying to think. Oh, the Sisters Grimm series by Michael Buckley. Yes, I know this is not a book, but it's a series of books. But I'm going to consider them all as one because it's a continuing story and it's fantastic. The first book is called The Fairy Tale Detectives. This is a middle grade series. I would also say that The Giver is also a middle grade series, by the way. But it's about these two sisters, Sabrina and Daphne, and their parents a year and a half ago get kidnapped. And so they're in the foster care system in New York City. And they go from foster home, and then finally they find out that their long lost grandma has came forward and she is like, those are my grandkids, I will take custody of them. Little do they know, they go to Ferryport Landing, which I believe is also in New York. And this town is not your average town. This town is actually, um, this town is filled with characters from old fairy tales that we all know, like from the Grimm brothers or from Hans Christian Andersen, like those folklore fairy tale authors. And there's a giant dome around the town, like a magical barrier that nobody can see. But if these fairy tale characters try to leave, they can't leave. Like they're stuck in this town, and they've been stuck in there for centuries. And you find out that Sabrina and Daphne are the descendants of the Brothers Grimm, and they're the last living descendants. Well, yeah, they're the youngest, but they're basically the end of the line. And you find out that their parents getting kidnapped was part of a bigger plan, and that everything is a sinister plan from this evil group called the Hand. And basically, it's like this overarching um story about how these sisters come into who they are. They find out more about their family. They find out that they're fairy tale detectives. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite series. I love reading it growing up. Yeah, I think everybody should read it. It's like one of my faves. Um, let me think about the last one. Let me go look at my bookshelves. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just based on what the book was that I was going to say. Oh my gosh. I did find out though that Hemingway book that I DNF'd, and it was For Whom the Bells Toll. So at least I got that information out to you. Oh Lord. Um, oh gosh, what was that book I was looking at? That I was like, oh yeah. My gosh. Oh my gosh, that's my ADHD brain coming in. That's what happens if I film at night. I forget so much. Oh my. So I forgot what my third book was. So we're pulling out the big guns and we're going to my Kindle because I'm sure I can find a book over here. I was like, I know the book, and then I completely forgot on the book and ugh. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Sorry, this is totally like a personal book, and I forgot what the first book I was gonna say, but no, we'll go to my Kindle for the last one. Homegoing by Yagazi. That is a great book about it's a dual family lineage. Yeah, I would say it's the family lineage, or it's a single lineage, but it's about these two women who are, it's about their family bloodline going forward, and you have one woman who marries like a colonizer. I wouldn't say he was like a colonizer. I would say he was more like a slave, like part of the slave trade. And she marries him, and it talks about her family lineage. And then you have someone who's sold into slavery, and it talks about her family lineage. And it was a fantastic book because every story that you're getting is about one of the other, like it's either from one bloodline or it's from the other bloodline. So like read the first story, it's about the first woman, the second one's about the second woman. The next story is about the first woman's next child, the same thing. And it just keeps going down until you get to modern day. So you see how like these two different bloodlines, how like their stories are different. And then at the end, something happens. And I won't spoil. But it's a great historical fiction, and it was fabulous. And I believe I gave it 5 stars. I want to read her next book, and I can't remember what the name of it is. I think it's like Transcendent Kingdom. I want to read that one next. So yeah, um, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. Um, okay. Question 9 is how do you pull yourself out of a reading slump? I can tell you from my own personal experience, I was in a 7-year reading slump, and the one thing that pulled me out of that reading slump is last year I made myself a New Year's resolution. I was going to start reading again, and yeah, that's how it happened. That's how I got out of that reading slump. I just said, all right, for New Year, I'm going to make a New Year's resolution, even though they never really work. I'm going to start reading and see where it goes. And then, yeah, now we're here, where I have a booktube channel where I talk about my books all the time. So it worked. It created an addiction, and I love this addiction. I love everything about it. I love reading the books. I love talking about the books. I like buying the books. I like holding the books. I love all of it. Okay. If a book was to be written about you, what would it be called and what would the cover look like? Hmm. Yeah, Mr. Francy, you're asking the hard questions. You asked me a very thought-provoking question. Mm. Would the inner ramblings of Hannah count? Man, the cover would be hard though. I feel like the cover would be like, you know, like when you're looking like at a comic or something and they have like the little thought bubbles but they're not really saying coherent words, they're just like little squiggles. That would be like inside my brain and just be like little squiggles like of thoughts going on in my head. And the name of it would be like Get Inside My Head or something like that. I don't know. That is a really hard one. I want it to be like My Life is a Mess, but I feel like that's too easy. Or it'd be like, do you want to hear about my dog? Do you want to hear about books? The conversations that Hannah has on a daily basis. It's like, let me tell you about my dog. Let me tell you about this book I read. Let me tell you about 90 Day Fiance, about all my crappy shows that I like to watch. Let me tell you about how I like to decompress from my life with my shows, so that way I don't have to think anymore, and I can watch other people's lives be so much worse than mine is right now. I feel like that would be a very long title, but it would get the point across. Um, okay, question 11 is anything not mentioned here that you would like to add? I would love to add that ever since I found the booktube community and I became friends with so many booktubers and friends with people who aren't part of booktube, but they watch booktube videos just like me, and I met them in Discord groups, they have been a huge help to me. Like with my own mental health and things that I've been dealing with in my personal life, like they have meant a lot to me. And They've made me laugh. They've been with me when I'm crying. Like, Booktube has really helped me out. Like, if I did not find Booktube, I don't know where I would be right now. So, I appreciate this. Like, honestly, being on Booktube has been an outlet for me to just talk and to talk about things that I'm passionate about. And I don't have to like talk about and annoy people in my real, like in my personal life. I don't have to annoy them like with books. I can come on here and talk about my books and upload a video, and other people will be like, "Yeah, I like that book too," or "Yeah, here's my opinion on that." And it's just really nice, and I appreciate it. And I know that there are haters out there who like to leave me comments on stuff, and to that I just say, go read a book, man. Like, just go read a book. Like, why are we upset about this one thing? Like, why? There's other things in the world that we could be worried about. Why are we going on YouTube and leaving hateful comments? Go read a book. That's all I can say. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Francy, for listening to me ramble and putting everybody who's watching this video, into some sort of torture device for listening to me ramble. Um, I really do appreciate you reaching out and asking me to be part of this video, and I love everybody who has always been there and listens to me and has been a friend of mine. As they say, as the great philosophers of Golden Girls has said, thank you for being a friend. Bye, everyone.
Aw, Hannah, you're so sweet. Thank you for being a friend. Alright everyone, so we're now at the end of this Celebrating Booktubers series video, and at the end of each video I've done so far, I do my right to respond, where I get the chance to respond to what these booktubers have said with my own thoughts and feelings about it. So I just talk about some random things that they've brought up. So let's see what Hannah said. So one of the things Hannah spoke about was she spoke about only not DNFing when she's 75% of the way through a book, and then the star rating goes down to a 2 or a 1. I so agree with that. Yeah, definitely. I am going to be a lot more likely to DNF a book in the first half than in the second half. And if I make it to 75%, it's like, oh, well, I might as well just see it through. But my star rating does go down because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I should have actually just DNF'd this book. I don't know why I'm still going. Hannah recommended a series called The Giver series by Lois Lowry. I don't know if she recommended the book or the series, but either way, this is actually a book that I wanted to read for the longest time. And so the fact that Hannah is recommending it, I think I'm going to add it to my 2023 SAS list. In fact, I think I wanted to read The Giver, oh gosh, since about maybe April in 2020, somewhere around there. So it's been quite a while since I wanted to read this series. Okay, Hannah says she got out of a reading slump by creating a New Year's resolution to read. Oh my goodness, I did not know this, because this is exactly what happened with me. For me, mine was back in 2020, in January. I think it was like week 2 or 3 of January. I decided to have a New Year's resolution to read, and it really did help me. So it was interesting because both Hannah and my New Year's resolution was exactly the same. It wasn't to read a certain amount of books, but to read in general. Even one book would have gotten me back onto reading, and I feel Hannah probably felt the same way, just to read in general. And look how much it's helped both of us. Hannah, I didn't know we had that in common. That's awesome. The title of Hannah's book, Do You Want to Hear About My Dog? Do You Want to Hear About Books? Conversations That Hannah Has by Hannah. Yes! I want to read that book. Oh my gosh, it will be so amazing. I can just imagine having an audio book of that with Hannah doing the audio narrating, and there I am, crocheting and listening to this book. I think it would be amazing. I'm sure Hannah could take me on some wild rides of journeys with that book. So I want this book. But that is it. That's where I'm going to leave it. So if you've not subscribed to her, I absolutely do recommend it. So the host's name is Hannah and her channel name is Buggy. That's Buggie, Buggy Reads. Highly recommend. I'm sure that you will not regret subscribing to her channel or getting to know the wonderful person that Hannah is. But as I always say when we get towards the end of the video, make sure to keep the party going because it does not stop here. Down in the comment section below, let Hannah know what you think of her and her channel if you have subscribed to her and you know her. And let's keep those compliments coming in, as I'm sure Hannah will be checking it out. But today, Mr. Francy doth declare that it is Buggy Reads Hannah's Day. So happy Hannah Day, everyone. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it, letting you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you again soon. Mwah. Thank you so much for watching. Please do be kind and love one another, and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading!